Hello, everybody. It's your two favorite amateur baseball analysts, intern journalist guys. Myself, Ethan Bird, and Jayson Ortiz for week two of the NL West VODCAST, baby. Let's get it.
Sir.
Lots changed in a week, hasn't it?
Yeah, a lot has changed. You know who hasn't lost since the last time we talked?
Shut.
The Dodgers. The Dodgers have not lost a game since the last time we talked.
Damn it!
And they're riding hot. I mean, obviously they haven't played anybody that's blowing your mind crazy. They have a good series with Colorado coming up this weekend, but they played the Angels, who historically they've struggled against because basically it's your little brother from down south who thinks they're better than you. And every time they come up, they get at least 2 of 3. But the Dodgers swept them. They out there sweeping. They lost 2 to the Padres, took 2 from the Padres, and then now in a mid-game series with the Seattle Mariners, who are sitting at 29th in the power rankings. So if they lose them, yikes.
Oh, big yikes. But you know who's lost 5 games since the last time we talked? The most consistent story in my life. You know, I'm getting to the point where, you know, this is 21 years of this stuff, man. 21 and a half years of this stuff, man. This heartbreak after heartbreak. Like, it's like that girl that you just can't get out of your head. And every time you talk to her, she just curves you.
Yep.
You know, I'm just preparing myself for another curve from my Rockies. Right. They're 3 for 7 in their last 10. Still sitting at second place. Shout out Daddy Blackman for that. Pulling us through a little bit. Got the second best run differential in the National League, which is often more telling of where a team sits. I mean, the Dodgers are at an ungodly, unfathomable plus 63.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, the Cubs are at plus 13. Atlanta's at plus 13. They're leading their divisions. Oakland's at plus 24. Minnesota at plus 39. Yankees at plus 35. I mean, based on the National League, with a run differential like that, the Rockies should be leading their division. But that a little too tough cousin in Los Angeles is being a little mean to us lately.
Hey, we get the first Rockies Dodgers action this weekend. That's something I've been waiting for, and the season's almost halfway over because you haven't played Colorado yet, and the first series, good for the Dodgers. You get to see the pitching staff, and it's in Chavez Ravine in LA. You don't want to send your guys off to Coors and then have them slump after that.
Well, I mean, if any, the biggest bright spot for the Rockies is still their starting rotation. Yesterday, Antonio Senzatella almost threw a complete game shutout.
Yep.
And then that godforsaken extra inning rule.
I hate it. Dude, that rule is so dumb. I get
so
it.
Upsetting.
They don't want games going too long because you're basically playing every single day. They just don't want those extra innings taking forever, going an extra 2-3 hours. But, I mean, I seriously hope they don't put that rule into effect after this year because it's just that's made for, like, 10-year-olds.
Imagine if that 2018 Cubs-Rockies wild card game just ended in the bottom of the 10th.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably one of the most fun Rocky – I mean, I wouldn't call it fun. I was sweating profusely and wanted to throw up. But, I mean, that was one of the best Rockies games I've watched in the past 6-7 years, you know? Yeah. Like, they think that they're speeding up the game, make it cool for the young kids. But I think this is one of the rules that's truly damaged the game.
Yeah, and one rule, actually, speaking on the rules, I think one rule that I've actually liked seeing is the 3-batter minimum. Yep. I think you're seeing games being managed different. I don't think it's changing the timing that they want. Like, I still think games are taking just as long. It's just you have to strategically pick who you want to throw. Do you want to throw this lefty for 3 batters? The Dodgers got into it last night with the Mariners where Jake McGee came in and he walked the first 2 guys. He got the third guy out, but he pushed runners over to second and third. Thankful they got out of that with only one run, but yeah. But I do like that rule. I like it just because it changes up the game.
Let's just talk about how Jake McGee is right now one of the best relievers in baseball.
Yeah,
and how little sense that makes after watching him for 3 years.
I think it's the Coors. Coors effect, man.
Okay, shut up, Brian Shaw. Shut up, Brian Shaw. I don't want to hear nothing from you. Kyle Freeland has gone 5 straight quality starts, 3 of which were at Coors. I mean, if you know how to pitch here, you can. So I don't want to hear nothing. Nothing.
I just think it's funny when the Dodgers signed Jake McGee, he was so paranoid about playing and getting corona that he drove from Denver to LA.
Good for him.
Took him 14 hours? It's like 14 hours. Pitched that night.
But I mean, actually, that's big kudos for, putting the health of yourself and your teammates above convenience of a plane.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think we look at playoffs right now. People have been you're throwing out the picture playoffs, who's in. If you look at it right now, 4 of the NL West teams are in.
Yeah.
And that's speaking on, obviously, Twitter post from the Arizona Diamondbacks, them being the hottest team in baseball right now, 12-11. I just don't see their pitching rotation taking them very far.
No. They'll gas
the Padres, they absolutely tanked the last time we talked.
I'd like to dog on them, but the Rockies are doing the same thing.
No. I mean, they've obviously lost, I think, they lost 3 of 4 to Arizona. So Arizona, if they're streaking right now, they're playing good baseball. If the NL West can keep up the pace of having 4 teams over 500, I definitely think they could put in 4 teams into the playoff.
But part of that problem is events here soon, they're all going to be just playing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. But Arizona is intriguing. I mean, they're 8 for 2 in their last 10. They've won 6 in a row, but they don't really have that star power to sustain it, in my opinion.
No, yeah, exactly. It literally comes down to their pitching rotation. They have Robbie Ray, and that's I feel like that's their go-to guy because he's been there for a while. He has the most experience, and he's their guy that gets outs. Obviously, they have Bumgarner, but like I think he's done. His velocity's down this year. His control's down this year. He's gone, I think, like 3 innings a couple times, and it sucks, to see, but I'm happy to see it because he was a Diamondback for the longest, or a Giant for the longest time.
He was a Rocky killer. They just got to throw him back on an ATV and wait till next year. Yeah, I'll say it every week. Every week.
Every week.
That's the Bumgarner. That's the Bumgarner secret. It's a secret.
Get hurt. Just get hurt and then come back.
Get hurt. Yeah, I mean, that's what he does, is it not? Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what Kershaw does, except it's his back. Every time
it's his back. I don't know what he's gonna do. Guy's getting old, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
we're very blessed to have watched one of the best pitchers to do it during our time loving baseball. I have to respect him a little bit.
Just a little bit. That's a
little respect from the Rockies fan. Yes, you get a little. You get a little.
But yeah. Kershaw's. It's so fun to watch him pitch. Like every day goes out, competes. That curveball is just insane. The amount of break that it goes from basically your eyes to your knees, and it's going to be interesting to see. When all the older pitchers that we're used to watching just start to leave the game. You see Kershaw about to leave the game. I see Verlander in the next couple of years probably going to leave the game. And then just all these old savvy vets that you just grew up watching about to leave the game. It's like, but then you got the new talent, the new grown talent, shaking off these stupid unwritten rules.
Oh, let's talk a little about unwritten rules.
Oh my dude, I don't get it. I don't get why people are upset.
It's so bonkers.
And I hate that people are associating Chris Woodward still with the Dodgers. He was our bench coach 2 years ago. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not our problem anymore. Get rid of him.
Goodbye, Chris. Goodbye. But I shout out. He'll probably never see this, but shout out Fernando Tatis Jr. You are the man. You never stop swinging. Never stop stealing. Especially against the Rangers, run them into the ground. Run anybody into the ground. Honestly, like that's what baseball. I mean, like, give me a freaking break, Mr. and Mrs. Oldhead. We like. Let's see some runs, baby. Let's see some grand slams. 3-0 grand slams, gotta love it. Ryan McMahon hit a 3-0 3-run homer the other night, but the Rockies were losing, so it was okay, right? Nah.
Yeah, it like when you – who said it best? I think it was it Pison? Jeff Pison? Where he was like, if you don't want somebody to swing at a 3-0 pitch, throw a better 3-0. Don't groove him a fastball. Like
exactly. You should be punished for that.
Exactly. And then you're thinking about he walked the two guys prior to Tatis. So you basically put yourself in the hole of now you have bases loaded. Then you put you in the hole of 3-0 count. Of course he's going to swing if you're going to groove him a fastball.
Well, and another tweet I saw, sorry I can't attribute it, but I really liked was imagine if he just rolled it over, soft ground ball to second base, and he didn't run it out.
Yeah.
Any bench coach is going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Bases are loaded. You run that out. Exactly. And if he turned a gun, no unwritten rule. It's unwritten rule that he was going to make that play. It's so – the double standard of it all is just so ridiculous. And shame on the Padres manager and the Texas Rangers manager.
Yeah.
Shame.
I saw that Fernando Tatis came out and obviously it was just because the pressure from his own manager to put out an apology, but like you shouldn't have to do that when you're just playing the game. You're playing the game the way you learn to play the game. And if an unwritten rule was going to be put in effect, it would be an actual written rule, and we can get rid of it.
I might have to play around after this and that clip from Game of Thrones where Cersei has the septum behind her. Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
You just Photoshop what is his name? Green? Padres manager, whatever is black. Yeah. Whatever is like that. I don't care about him anymore. I think that would be fun to make.
That would be a good one to do. But yeah, man, it's you hate to see the old guys leaving the game, but it kind of needs to be the new, young, fresh, the new game of baseball, and just let the kids play.
Yeah. Didn't they come up with that marketing slogan?
Yeah, that was the MLB. The MLB said, let the kids play. And apparently the old guys they don't like it. They don't like it very much.
I remember.
All right, so but coming up this weekend, we got Dodgers-Rockies. First game on Friday. 4-game series? Nope, 3.
I believe, it's 3. What's the projected for that?
The Rockies don't have a projected pitcher yet for Friday, and the Dodgers are going to go Buehler, Dustin May, Ross Stripling.
Well, if Castellani is pitching a day, then that means we're going to get most likely Marquez tomorrow, then John Gray Friday, Kyle Freeland Saturday, Senzatella Sunday. So out of those matchups, you got most likely John Gray on Friday. John Gray on Friday. Yeah. He's been a bit streaky. He's going against Walker Buehler. Buehler's
He's also been streaking this year. He has yet to put together a complete game, and hopefully he can put one together on Friday. But I think the matchup I'm looking forward to the most is if it is Freeland May Saturday.
2 young guys.
That game could have some fireworks.
Oh yeah, I mean Kyle Freeland, he's just got probably the biggest chip on his shoulder he can get right now.
Yeah.
Especially after last season, everybody was just tearing him down. Oh, Kyle Freeland, you were fourth in Cy Young voting. What happened? He got the yips, honestly. I think he got the yips. The book was written really well on him. And like I said last week, he's mixed up his pitch mix. It looks much better. His delivery is much less predictable now. And against probably the most exciting young pitcher in the National League right now in May.
Dude.
Oh, it's either gonna – it's hard to say.
It can go one way or the other.
With how young they are, it could blow up pretty quick. But with the tear that both of them are on, it could go deep into the later innings.
Yeah, it could. And that basically what happened last night with the two young pitchers. The Dodgers threw Tony Gonsolin, Mariners threw, I can't even remember his name, but he was one of their young studs coming up, and it was 0-0 until the 6th or 7th inning. And then I think that's going to be the same thing that happened Saturday. I know the Dodgers love to hit off John Gray. John Gray is like one of their favorite pitchers to hit against when they play the Rockies. Senzatella, not so much. They usually don't hit very well when Senzatella is on the mound.
Yeah. It'll be either come next Wednesday, you're going to have a big smile, or I'm going to have a big smile.
Hey, hopefully,
that's just the way baseball works.
Hopefully the Dodgers have by next Wednesday, they have a 10-game lead, or we're in a hot race for first.
Hey, but that would be more exciting. That would be more fun.
Yeah, because like the last, what was it? Not last year, because last year the Dodgers ran away with the division. But it was the year before that when we played. Was it 163?
Yep.
And the Rockies choked away an NL West title that could have been their very first in franchise history. But, we won't talk about that because maybe one day you'll get an NL West title.
You just had to bring it up, didn't you? Didn't you?
Had to, because that's our only claim to fame is we can only win NL West titles, can't win anything else.
I can smell your arrogance from here, brother. And let me tell you what, my smelling ain't too good right
now. Let's hop off. Let's hop off the Dodgers Rockies for a sec. Let's hop on to obviously this Padres team that they have. Who do they have coming up? They have the Astros, and they have 3 with the Astros after they finish their series with Texas. So they're in the whole Texas AL side of things. Yeah, they're on the Texas trip right now, and I don't see them coming out of. If they can get past Houston with at least one, it'll be good for them. But they got Jake Lamette throwing on Thursday, who has been one of their better pitchers.
Yep.
And then in game 1 against the Astros, they don't have a to be determined yet, but I'm assuming maybe Luis Perdomo, who just threw a couple days ago. But they just have such young pitchers that I think once teams start to figure them out, that's where their downfall is because people don't know who they are very much.
Well, the more they pitch, the more film you got. Goodness gracious. The NL West is just probably the most exciting.
For sure.
Other than the Giants, we'll just act like the Giants aren't part of the division right now.
Giants don't exist.
Who's that? Never met.
Who are they?
But the Diamondbacks coming up have they can really, really continue their streak. They've got Oakland today and tomorrow, and then a 3-game set against San Francisco, and then a 4-game set against the Rockies to win all the NL West action really heats up. But with 5 games against Oakland and San Francisco, they should at least be able to go 3-2 in that. Yeah,
they beat Oakland 10-1 yesterday. Yeah, and that was surprising because Oakland's been the streaky team that they have the best record in the MLB. Don't they? 16-8. Oh, well. The Dodgers have the best record in the MLB. But we'll not skirt past that, and they have the second best record in the MLB.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the Diamondbacks can take 2 games, that they're at least 1 of 2 against Oakland, and then you think 2 or 3 from San Francisco, they'll be in a good spot to where they can contend for that second spot in the second guaranteed spot, so you don't have to have the best record. But they are also in the category of pitching. Like, you never know what you're going to get from their pitchers. Like, you have who's throwing tonight? Merrill Kelly. He's supposed to be one of their best young pitchers. He's 3-1 on the year with a 1.71 ERA.
Yeah.
Will he get it done tonight against the Athletics? Possibly. But it's like
Matt Chapman has to say about it.
Exactly. But like, you don't know. Like, it's not like some pitchers you look at and like, yeah, I know who that is. I know what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we'll see. We'll see what the NL West is. It's exciting. I can't wait for everybody to start playing each other.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of playing the Giants. Played them like 3 times already. And
I'd like to play them a little bit more.
They're one of the annoying little brothers that we play down to their level. And it's
One storyline that I think could prove to be interesting in the next couple of weeks is when Brendan Rodgers gets his call up for the Rockies.
Yeah.
With a somewhat streaky, kind of slumping Ryan McMahon, you might need some fresh blood over there at second base in Brendan Rodgers, who can hit and play the position very effectively.
Yeah.
So I keep an eye on that.
Good for young talent to get up, and that happened actually this weekend with the Dodgers. Keibert Ruiz made his MLB debut. First at bat, hits a home run, and
that's always so fun.
It's so fun to watch the young guys come up, and they love to compete, especially in this year where these young guys are needed to give the guys who play every day a break.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts, he doesn't need a break.
No.
Tired of seeing Jock Peterson in the outfield. I'll be honest right now. I'm tired of seeing Jock Peterson in the outfield. The dude doesn't hustle for balls, and he's striking out. I have the stat right here. He has struck out 17 times. He's batting 159, and his on-base percentage is 264.
That's
and
just
that doesn't even
completely different Jock Peterson than what we're all
last year.
used to.
Like, exactly.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Wait, listen to you complaining with a plus 63 run differential. Actually, I have no sympathy or remorse for you. Zero. Negative. Negatory.
Hey, but the what crazy stat I saw this weekend was Mookie Betts, 99% contact rate on strikes in the zone. The dude's not swinging and missing at anything inside the zone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's just that 40-20 vision, son.
No, dude,
that's a vision you and I wish we were born with.
Right. Watching Mookie Betts, like, obviously now more as a Dodger, but like, I didn't watch as a Red Sox when he was a Red Sox as much. The guy is such a dynamic player. Like, he's the definition of that guy that has that 6 tool. You have your 5 tool players; they're all over the MLB, but who can have that extra 6 tool? And Mookie Betts has that. He's special. The dude he's unreal. Like, I even put it out on Twitter. I put myself out there. I said in the next couple years, Mookie Betts is going to pass Mike Trout for being the best player in the MLB.
Trout's been on one hell of a tear since his birthday, though.
Mike Trout he's got that dad power now.
9 home runs since either his birthday or his kid was born. One of the two.
Since his kid was born, he's had that extra dad power, and him and Fernando Tatis, I think, are tied at 10 home runs, I believe. 10 or 11.
Well, imagine. I saw a graphic that compared before his streak and after, during his slump. Imagine hitting 292 and you're so good it's considered a slump just because you're not hitting homers.
That's facts. That's just his stats get buried. Like, I love Trout. Trout's a great player. His stats just get buried because he's on such a terrible team.
Yeah.
Like the Angels are just so bad that he doesn't have a chance to make the playoffs and improve his stats.
It's also that market power, like if he were on one of the top market teams, New York, Boston, LA, even St. Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, the media, he'd be like LeBron James. The media would, just because of how much more exposure he would have, you would never hear anything other than Mike Trout every night when you're talking about highlights.
Yeah,
but because he plays in the smaller LA market and for a boo-boo team.
Yeah.
And he's also not really that fun of a character.
No, yeah. I mean, he's not like those guys where you mic him. He's not one of those guys you would mic up in the outfield because
no,
he's not. I don't feel like he'd be a fun guy to listen to talk.
Yeah, he's no Charlie Blackmon. I mean, Charlie Blackmon is probably the weirdest dude. Yeah. The weirdest dude. I mean, Daniel Murphy is pretty weird. Yeah. Daniel Murphy is super weird. Yeah. But like when Chuck is mic'd up, it's just it don't make no sense.
Yeah. I remember
his head somewhere else.
Up. You know who's fun to listen to mic'd up was Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. Listening to them mic'd up. They were
Uncle Rizzo.
They were just like the thoughts that you think go through their head, they were just telling you out loud.
Yep.
Like I thought it was gonna be a fastball, but it was a curveball. I still swung anyways because I tried my best, but it went foul.
But I think the biggest thing you need to do is make it so that Joe Buck isn't interviewing him anymore.
Oh my God. I wish Joe Buck would retire.
We can't talk about Joe Buck because this episode will go on a 20-minute tangent. I don't think anybody needs to hear.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants the Joe Buck entertainment. We'll save that for another time. Maybe a special, a Joe Buck special.
Yeah,
the playoffs roll around.
We'll do that. Yeah.
When the playoffs roll around.
Yeah. Big brain.
Yeah. But yeah, so hopefully in the next week we see big key points. Obviously, Dodgers Rockies this weekend.
Yep.
I mean, you kind of hope as Dodger Rocky fans that you see the Padres and Diamondbacks both start to slump, go downhill. Mm-hmm. Maybe even see the Giants get on a tear a little bit and start trying to knock off some of these teams. And
yeah, well,
it's just that's your hope as a fan. Yeah. You're rooting for. Yeah. Like I never want to root for the Giants, but if they're playing against an NL West team that's right behind us, I'm like, hey, help us out to help you out. Apparently.
So what do you say? We close this one out with let's get out of our fan heads. Pure unbiased journalism. Our week 2. Our week. Yep. All right. Fan cap off. Our week 2 power rankings.
All right, week 2 power rankings. Obviously, you're going to start with the Dodgers at 1, just based off of they're on a 7-game win streak, and Cody Bellinger still hasn't gotten back to his MVP form from last year. Mookie Betts and the entire lineup, top to bottom, it's unreal. Yeah. 2, even though they're slumping, I still go Rockies at 2. I'm going Diamondbacks at 3.
Okay.
And then Padres 4 and Giants 5. Just based on the Diamondbacks winners of 6 in a row. Mm-hmm. Sure, they've played against the Padres, so they just beat them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I'd hate to say that the Padres at 4, but I do think that's where they're at.
All right, I'm gonna switch just 2 of those around for this week. Obviously, Dodgers number 1. Yep. All right, no, just kidding. Fan head off. Dodgers number 1. It's gotta be confident. But actually, I'm actually gonna put just over the past week, Arizona's got to take that number 2 spot for me. They've won their last 6, 8-2 in their last 10. Their power has increased indeed. And then the Rockies number 3, Padres number 4, and then the mainstay number 5.
They're going to be there for the rest of the year, I swear.
Most likely. But you see some crazy stuff in baseball.
Especially the Giants, man. You give them a wild card and they think they have a chance.
It's an even year, though. Wait, do they win in the even years? Ah,
Yeah.
shoot! No! Oh no!
Oh man. Hey. Well, hopefully next week either you're a lot happier or about the same.
My demeanor is slowly deteriorating. I stopped tweeting about the Rockies because it hurts. It hurts too much.
It's all right. We've all been there. Just kidding. I've never been there.
Whoa!
Oh.
We've had some fun this week, but I don't want to listen to you anymore.
All right. Well,
You're making me mad.
Next week.
You're making me mad.
Along with everybody else. We'll see you next week.
That is week 2 of the NL West podcast with Ethan Bird, Jayson Ortiz, signing out, baby.